Hi, this is Seewing Yee from the University Network. Thank you for attending. And I'm going to talk about the process and procedures to buy in Buffalo, New York. So let me review and recap. I have sent out several educational videos associated with our Buffalo market, but feel free for those of you that have not watched the videos, then let me know about it. But I assume many of you already watched the initial first three videos, and so therefore I'm going to not going to go over repeat myself from the other educational videos that we produced on Buffalo recently. But I'm just going to highlight very the recap and the I'm going to walk you through the process of buying in Buffalo. All right, so suffice to say that I truly believe Buffalo is right now is the best market for turnkey cash flow real estate investors, whether you guys in located in the U.S. or from overseas, whatever. But my so-called network members of the real estate network, most of you are located in San Jose, California, over the years. So with that said, I don't need to tell you that the cap rate and the returns associated with Buffalo is extremely high. So therefore, I'm going to really be very clear with you. Assuming that if you're interested in purchasing in Buffalo, of course you contact me directly. Then we can have a nice high level consultation appointment by phone, by email, or by text, or one-on-one physical meetings. So then once we determine that you are very serious, that you are very motivated and all that, and you feel that purchasing through our network and buying Buffalo is clearly it's going to happen. You can pull the trigger rather quickly. Then that's great. I will. The first thing I'm going to provide for you once you get pre-approved, if you're going to do financing, or if you want to purchase with all cash, or with your self-directed IRA, then show the proof of that those documentation and paperwork, and of course I can walk you through as well to roll over your traditional IRA or your previous employer 401k to a self-directed IRA custodian, so you can buy it with your IRA. So here's what's going on. So only in the Buffalo market where my turnkey provider, Buffalo turnkey provider, they're kind enough to provide me with a sort of a weekly inventory worksheet. Okay, it's just they're very transparent. Okay, so there are two sections. One section, as you can see right here, are the Buffalo, New York properties, and there are quite a few of them, like maybe 75 of them. Then at the bottom, they have Niagara Falls, which is just a very short distance away, Niagara Falls, New York, property categories. And so I have to say there are about here are the categories. There are, if you can look at the under status, right? Oh, by the way, if you look at the addresses, you know, the address is clear right here. If you look at the addresses, this is Buffalo, right? You type in, if you want to click on Zillow.com, and when you click on Zillow.com, you will type in the address here and the and put down Buffalo, and the Zillow will provide the zip code, and then you will see from your original research in due diligence, you will see in the Zillow, you will see the picture of the property, all the numbers, all the historical data, and the school district, whatever, on the Zillow. Same thing with Niagara Falls. If you are looking for a particular property, when you click Zillow or any one of the nationwide housing website, you click the complete address here, the Niagara Falls address on your left, the street address, then you click Niagara Falls, and the Zillow will automatically give you the zip code, right? Then you can do your own initial research. Obviously, my Buffalo turnkey provider, because they are the staff. the staff was born and raised in Buffalo. Okay, and the owner, the founder of the Buffalo Turkey Properties, Keith Kanazi, he owns this company, this wholesale real estate company for the past 30 years, and they have an in-house property management and in Buffalo to manage all the properties. It's a family owned. And in Niagara Falls, they have a third-party property management that manages the Niagara Falls properties. So Keith and his son Caleb is also part of the staff, and he has daughter-in-law also a part of this business. So it's a family business, and they have a number of additional employees uh, that to handle the whole entire operation. So needless to say, right? They know the market, they know how to buy, they know every street, every corner, every neighborhood in Buffalo for decades now. So we have to assume that these properties that they picked up out in their marketplace are in nice locations. Okay, we have to assume they wouldn't pick a property that are located in a really bad area, right? They're not gonna do that. So all these addresses are located in a blue collar neighborhood. Now they purchase through auction or through bank REOs or through resellers, through various sources because they have connection. They've been doing business for so long that they have a great track record, and they're very reputable, all those kind of things, right? So I trust them, and you should too. But you trust and verify. All right, those assumptions that are being made. So, and of course, most important of all, since a lot of these properties are built in 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, obviously, for you to feel comfortable buying through this organization, right, you have to have the confidence that they're going to do well. So all these properties are rehab correctly, right? They have a contract team. They rehab every single one of these property, and then when they put the property for sale on each week, it is the tenant is already in there. Okay, turnkey, rent ready, ready to go. All you're gonna come in is to get ready, right? You have your loan, investment loan pre-approval, or cash in hands, and your self-directed array ready to go. So clearly, under the Buffalo category, as you can see, the property that already, that means they're ready to be sold to you guys, right? You see all the numbers, you see the rents. I can tell you right now, Buffalo has the highest return, highest cash flow, highest cap rates, highest cash on cash return. I mean, look, that's how it is, all right? So, excuse me, I got to sneeze. So red. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Anyway, so under status, ready property, they're ready to go. Then, if the status say future, right, that means that particular property is under rehab in the next few weeks or within a month. I don't know exactly what date the uh, the future property will be converted to ready, right? So so these are private portfolios. These properties in Buffalo Niagara Falls are in the private portfolio of Mr. Keith Kenazi. Okay, it is not in a multiple listing service, is not listed to the general public. So they have a great system. This all this property will appraise. An inspection report is verifiable. Everything is just ready to go. Right, it's very desirable. So even though in any given week, or they have like 200 properties, right? Maybe 100 is about ready to be sold, 100 is under rehab to be sold in the next few weeks or next few months. So our investment group, the Yee Real Estate Network, are not the only buyer, right? Because they've been around for so long, there are other real estate investment groups located in the US and Canada and Australia and Israel that already purchased through this company, Buffalo Turnkey Provider, right? So they have a good experience. A lot of the other investors, they keep on buying, right? But they buy one, but they buy two. As a matter of fact, the other investors they this Buffalo company works with, they are very savvy, they're very sophisticated, and they are very financially well off. What I mean by that, I have to say those investors, whether they're from Canada or Australia or UK or South America or China, each each individual investors they have the capacity to buy 10, even 15 properties, all cash. Okay, so our investors, I know, we can do financing. Don't worry about that. But you're competing against this high end, sophisticated real estate investors from other part of the world, and of course in a domestic U.S. So there are more buyers, investors for this inventory than there are available supply of these homes. Keith and his staff works very hard every single day to analyze the local market, to buying this kind of buy these properties in cash from their own money. They spend their own money rehabbing, right? Like I said, with the contracting that they have, and then they package it up, put a renter in place, then they sell it to our investors, the end users. So our investment group, I believe, I'm not sure, I think I have around 10 investors from my network, soon to be 15, that are about ready to pull the trigger. And you know who you are, okay? We have consulted quite extensively recently, so who you know who you are. So you are in a priority list. Whether you want to get financing, you can get financing even on a $55,000 property. Isn't that amazing? It will appraise. It will appraise. So this is the real stuff. Now this listed price right here, this is the real sales price. There's no negotiation. Okay, Keith, he's not gonna haggle. Okay, he's not. You're not. The price is what it is. Whether you buy in bulk, two or three at a time, he will. Keith and his company will not give you a volume discount. The list price, it is what it is. If you can go do financing, Buffalo Turnkey provider will add one more $1,000 to the purchase price. Why? Because they can spend more time try to facilitate the closing on a transaction, on a loan transaction, which is more time consuming. A cash purchase or with IRA purchase, they can close within 10 days or less, right? So needless to say, the Buffalo Turnkey staff is extremely busy. Okay, so they can't afford to waste time with people. All right, so I have, like I said, almost 15 investors that I pre-select based on our consultation. That they are on my priority list. So I have the ability to obtain more, but and of course, you have to compete with other investors they already have. They have the ability to buy multiple property with all cash. But don't worry, okay? I mean, as long as you work with me on a personal basis, I know who you are. You will be able to buy a property, fairly quickly, even though you are sort of on a waiting list. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you already went through my personal screening, I will give you this worksheet. I will email you this Excel worksheet exactly the way it looks right here, right? So how you gonna pick a property? Well, it's not rocket science. Like I said, look, Keith and his group already picked the property for you. It is his estimation, my partner Keith, that all this property is good. All right, so it's up to you to, trust him, trust us. But if you want to do more research, fine. Like I said, type in the address in a Zillow and do a little bit of due diligence. You can find, you can find the picture of the street, the neighborhood on Zillow on these addresses, right? So then you contact when you do your initial research through Zillow or whatever website, then you'll come back. You'll email or call Keith Kanazi, and his son Caleb will provide you some pictures of exterior and interior of the property. All the rehab items that's already done, those kind of things, right? Then then you guys write a contract. It's that simple, right? And you go do financing, then do the loan and go through the process of closing escrow. It is that simple, right? You pull the trigger. Now, some of you, which is okay, some of you want to go there first, go to Buffalo, fly out there. I'll give you, I actually give Buffalo turnkey provider like 2 weeks notice that you're gonna fly out there and visit the area. They will show you around. They will give you a tour of the Buffalo neighborhood, so you get a feel of it. Again, give them at least a couple of weeks ahead of time before you fly out there to tour the property. So you can visit Buffalo before or after you buy the property. It's entirely up to you. Even though many of our investors they don't need to go there because they trust this group, right? They've been doing it for a long, long time. Okay, so that's basically it. Once I give you the okay, after you get pre-approved, after you go through my consultation, and we feel there's a fit, you're really motivated, then I'll send you to talk to Keith. I'll give you this worksheet, right? You identify one or two property from a weekly worksheet listing, right? You look at cap rate, you look at the rents, which is amazing, right? I don't. Okay, so this kind of property go very fast. Some of you're gonna ask me like, how long would this kind of great deal is gonna continue on? I don't know. I would say maybe 6 months. This kind of inventory availability in a way that Keith Kanazi and his company does it is very unique. Okay, this kind of good deals with the price the way it is right now with the rent that's in place right now is not gonna last forever. Okay, so I tell everybody the window of opportunity is very limited. I give it, I don't know, 6 months before a lot of these deals will be diminished, will be gone, and the prices will go up. So the return will be not be as good later. So for those of you who are not motivated or who procrastinate, who want to think about it, you're gonna lose out because the Buffalo market is at the early of the recovery cycle, is in the early thing. So economic indicator, everything's with Buffalo is doing well. Very stabilized market, good, great rental market, and a good economy, and a lot of diversity. A lot of millennials are still staying around, and there's a lot of jobs. A lot of, and the demands for homes exceeding supply. That means there are a lot of bidding wars, and there's a lot of multiple offers in the Buffalo real estate market. But a lot of it, are on the MLS, multiple listing service, where you see people overbidding. But this portfolio from Keith is a private portfolio. This is his properties, okay, from his private personal portfolio. So you get the good value by buying in this kind of system. He's a wholesaler. He wholesale the property. He sell it to our investors and other similar investors from across the U.S. and overseas. So, okay, so I'm creating this sense of urgency. All right, if you're really truly interested, you talk to me, then I will get you the property. However, you can afford. If you want to buy one, of course, you buy one just to test the water to see how your experience is going to go. I suspect you can have a very good experience. Okay, and yeah, of course, you can factor in 5 to 7% maintenance factor, 5% vacancy factor, and even under all this cash flow analysis, at the end of the day, you can have a double-digit cap rate and a double-digit cash on cash return and double-digit whatever total return on investment. It's just a amazing, unique opportunity here in Buffalo. Before I'm telling you, before the mainstream media can hear about Buffalo, we are the early stage of the real estate cycle where the prices are very, very low. The deals are abundant, especially the unique system that Keith Kanazi and his staff does it here at Buffalo Turnkey Property. So this is a tremendous, this is a gold mine, I call it, right? Uh, uh, we are very, very lucky. Our the Real Estate Network are giving the privilege to work with the Buffalo Turnkey Provider, and Mr. Kanazi and his group are gracious to accept us into his network to buy all these great, such a low price property, such a high rent to value ratio homes, and all rehab and ready to go. Okay, so have to. That's all I have to say. that's pretty much I have to say. I think that's it. So, yep, if you're ready to talk to me, contact me, email me, and we set up a phone consultation. Then, then we'll go from there. All right. Thank you so much for listening. This is a very exciting moment, and I hope to hear from many of you. I still have room available, so I don't know how much longer before I may not accept clients because if I accept too many investors for my network and there's not enough inventory, competition is so fierce. But you will get priority. You will get at the top of the line on a waiting list once I determine that you qualify to do this. Okay, thank you so much. This is Seewing Yee from the Real Estate Network. Have a nice day. Bye.